So let's start with a quick review of the new angle relationships that we learned about in this module, okay? The first set is we called alternate interior, okay? Now remember, alternate means it refers to the opposite side of the transversal, and the transversal is this line that cuts through the two other lines, okay? The interior, ignore the dog, the interior is the space in between any two given lines, and of course the exterior is above and below any two given lines, okay? So a pair of alternate interior angles would be angles 2 and 5. Because they sit on the interior of the two lines and they are on opposite sides of my transversal. Oops. Okay. The other pair, of course, would be angles 4 and angle 8 in this particular diagram. So that's alternate interior. Okay. We also learned about alternate exterior. Okay, again, the alternate means opposite sides of the transversal, but this time we're looking for two angles on the exterior. So that would be angle 3 and angle 7. They're on the outside and sit on opposite sides of the transversal. And of course my other pair is angle 1 and angle 6. The third set we learned about what are called consecutive or same side interior. Okay, consecutive means one right after another, and that's not a term I learned when I learned this topic. I learned same side, but if you can remember that consecutive and same side are the same thing, again, we're on the interior, but this time we're on the same side of the transversal. So that's going to be angles 4 and angle 5, as well as angle 2 and angle 8. Both are on the same side of the interior. And then for our last one, and I'll draw a new set of lines here so it's easier to see, was our corresponding angles. Nope, I did that. I'm sorry. I want to get the numbers to be the same. Okay. Now, corresponding angles references the location, or I should be more specific, the same location of an angle on different lines. Okay, so if we treat these 4 angles, we notice these 4 angles are on line A, and these 4 angles are on line B. Angle 1 and angle 8 sit in the same position on the line. I should say the same position on each line. So angle 1 is in the same position as angle 8 on line B. Then we have angle 4, the corresponding angle on line B would, oh, and I just realized I wrote 5 twice. Sorry. Let me fix that. This is supposed to be 3, and that's supposed to be 4. Sorry. There we go. Okay, so angle 3, the angle that corresponds to angle 3, but that sits on line B, would be angle 5. Okay, and then of course the same is true for angles 4 and 6, same location, just on different lines. And then last but not least, of course, is angle 2 and angle 7. Okay, so that is our definition of the 4 angle types that we learned about in this particular unit. And you'll notice for these 2 particular drawings that I did, the lines A and B are not parallel. Okay? Now, what's special is that when these lines are drawn so that they are parallel, okay, and they should have the arrows on each angle. Sometimes they'll be filled in like this. Okay, this tells me that lines A and B are parallel. So that means the angle measures for the 4 angle relationships I just reviewed have special measurements. Okay, so let me read. Okay, so for our alternate interior, alternate exterior, and our corresponding angles, if the lines are parallel, the angles will be congruent, okay? And the reason is, if this particular angle is 100 degrees, we know any straight line or straight angle has a total of 180 degrees. That means that angle 1 would be 80 degrees, because 80 plus 100 is 180. And then angle 4 would also be 100, and angle 3 would be 80, because 2 and 4, 1 and 3 are vertical. Okay, now because A and B are parallel, essentially all I'm doing is essentially copying and pasting these 4 angles down here, because if the lines are parallel, the transversal will cut the line the exact same angle as line A. And if you'll notice, let me get a different color. You notice alternate exterior angles are congruent. Alternate interior angles are congruent. And corresponding angles are congruent. The only set or pair of angles that are not congruent are or consecutive or same side interior, those will always be supplementary. So now that we've gone over and reviewed the angle types and what the measurements are when the lines are parallel, let's take a look at how to solve a few problems in the next video.